Okay, so let's start with circular convolution. Visible to both the groups B1 and B2?
Yes, ma'am.
Is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, sorry? No, when I will download the Excel sheet of your attendance, that merge हो जाउचे मते पुणे difficult अब काढ़िया पे B1 students के B2 students के. Okay, now coming to circular convolution. Okay, as we have already discussed about the linear convolution, what was the expression for your linear convolution? What was the expression for your linear convolution? N minus k, right? So similarly, when you are going for the circular convolution, same way representation. So here the limit varies from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, here the limit varies from 0 to n minus 1, x1 of m equal to x2 of n minus m mod n. Okay, so the symbol for your circular convolution is 1n is being encircled. Okay, this is the symbol for your circular convolution. In your linear convolution, the symbol you have been used is this, right? But for the circular convolution, you are going to use this type of symbol, and this is x3 of n is equals to x3 of n is the convoluted signal. Okay, this is the convoluted one. Then x1 of m and x2 of x1 and x2 both are your inputs. Okay, x1n and x2n are both are your input signals. Then your circular convolution expression will be like this: x1 of m into x2 of n minus m mod of n, where m varies from 0 to n minus 1. Now you have to there is one necessity condition for your circular convolution, that is both the for the duration, the sequence, both the sequence have equal length n. Okay, both the sequence must have equal length n. So what you have to first determine is what is the length of x1n and x2n. If they are not equal, your first step is to make them equal. Okay, your first step is to make the lengths equal. Okay, now here you can see, okay, I have written here, if the length of x1 of n is x and x2 is y, then the length of your convoluted signal x3 will be the maximum of x and y. Okay, now why we are taking as maximum of x and y? Because ultimately we have to equal the length of x1 and x2, right? Suppose x1, the length of x1 is 4 and the length of x2 is 2, right? Then what you have to do is you have to add some zeros to make both the lengths equal. Okay, now how will you add the zeros? Randomly to kari pariboni. So if y is, suppose this is x and this is y, now x is greater than y. So what you have to do is, which one is smaller, you have to add zeros to that input. Suppose this one is x1 and this is the length of x2. Now what you have to do is you have to add two zeros, okay, to x2 to then the length will be equal. Now it will be again 4 and it is already 4. So you have to make the lengths equal. So I have written here, to perform circular convolution, the length of both the sequences should be equal and the length of both the sequences can be made by padding 0, right? Means you have to add zeros at the end of the sequence. Okay. taken as the length of x2 and x is the length of x1. Then x, then add y minus x number of zeros to the x1 end sequence. If x is greater than y, then add x minus y number of zeros to x2 end sequence, right? Basic concept. तो तुम्हारा length equal है जिबो, है ना नहीं? Are you getting or not? Right. So coming to the steps. So there are some linear convolutions. We have used two methods. One is our direct method. One is the matrix method. Right. Similarly, here also different methods are there. Okay. So there are the methods are concentric circle method. Then one is direct method. Then again matrix method. Okay, so first we will see the concentric circle method. Okay, now for the concentric circle method, what you have to do is first you have to make lengths equal by padding 0, x1 end and x2 end. The length should be equal. Okay, step number 2, represent x1 of n over a circle in anti-clockwise direction and x2 of n in clockwise direction. So how will you represent this two over a circle? You have to first draw one circle, then you have to mark how many number of samples are there. You have to count. Suppose 5 or 4 samples are there. Then you have to mark equally spaced points on the circles. Okay, on the circles. So there will be 2 circles. The innermost circle I have represented with x1 of n and the outer circle representing x2 n. Okay. So what you have to do is, suppose there are 4 samples are there. Suppose x1 of n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there are 4 samples, then you will mark 4 equally spaced points on the periphery of the circle. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? So
yes,
same goes with your x2 of n, because the length are being equal in the step number 1. It means same number of samples should be there. Length are equal means number of samples should be same.
Ma'am, someone wants to join.
Okay. Yes or no? Lengths of x1 and length of x2 are same means number of samples in x1 and x2 are same, because you have been added zeros. Yes or no? So suppose a 4 number of equally spaced points are there in x1 end, it means 4 will be in x2 end. Suppose here I am not saying this is not 4. Suppose in x1 end 5 number of points are there, it means same goes with the x2 of n. Yes or no? যদি x1 এ 5টা পয়েন্ট মু ইন্ডিকেট করথাନ୍ତି, x2 রে भी 5টা পয়েন্ট ইন্ডিকেট করথাନ୍ତି.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, after padding, because this is the step number 1. 0 padding is your step number 1. Make lengths equal by padding 0. Okay, that is your most important point. Okay, then only you will start your calculation. Okay, now so what you have to do is, how will you mark? You have indicated these points. So now how will you arrange this samples? 1 कोठी रहइबो, 2 कोठी रहइबो, 3 कोठी रहइबो, 4 कोठी रहइबो, केमति जानिबो? So how will you arrange this samples here in x1 n? So there are some indication, that is the innermost circle, that is the x1 n. For innermost circle, what you have to do is, you have to arrange in anti-clockwise direction, x1 0, x1 1, x1 2, then x1 3, sample number 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now for x2 of n, it will be in clockwise manner. x2 0, x2 1, x2 2 and x2 3. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Samples means this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Samples. Okay. No matter how many samples are there, you have to make equally spaced points. Okay. For n number of samples, you have to indicate n number of equally spaced points. Equally spaced points. And for x1n, you will go in anti-clockwise manner. For x2n, you will go in clockwise manner. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to step number 3. What is your step number 3? You have to multiply corresponding sample values on the or which have been arranged by these two circles. Means you have to multiply like this. x1 0 with x2 0, x1 1 with x2 3, x2 2 with x2 2. Now x1 3 with x2 1. Okay, you have to multiply these corresponding positions, these corresponding samples. Right? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what you have to do as the summation is involved, right? As the summation is there, right? So, what you have to do is, then after the multiplication, you have to add those values. You have to add those values. As you can see, I have already written here, x3 of 0 is equals to x1 0 multiplied with x2 0 plus x1 1 with x2 3, then again plus x1 2 multiplied with x2 2, then again plus x1 3 multiplied with x2 1. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now coming to this much is completed, that you have got your first sample of your convoluted signal. This is the first sample of your output signal or your convoluted signal, isn't it? Now what you have to do is, for the next step, you have to rotate your x2 of n, means the outer circle, in one position. You have to shift only one position in anti-clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Or else you can shift the inner circle as well. Means तमे जोटा भी हेले गोटे ही circle को, any one of the circle should shift its sample value. Okay, whether you are choosing your inner one or you are choosing the outer circle, that is depending on you. There is no problem. If you are choosing to rotate this x1 of n, that is also fine. Okay, but we are in our case we are choosing the x2 of n. So I am just rotating this x2 of n one position in anti-clockwise. I am just shifting the samples one position in anti-clockwise manner. So you can say this is the first one. Yes or no? Eta amara first one thila, ame emti hi arrange karthile mane nahi.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will choose my x2 of n. Okay, now how will I rotate this x2 of n? This is x2 of 0 here. Now in the anti-clockwise direction I am rotating this x2 of n. So you can see the x2 of 0 is being shifted to this position. x2 of 0 is being shifted to this position, right? So x2 of 0 here. Now here it is x2 of 3. I am just shifting this to here. x2 of 3 is here. Now x2 of 2 was there. Now I will shift it to here. See, x2 of 2. Now x2 of 1 will be here. Got it? Huh? ବୁଝିପାରିଲ?
Yes, ma'am. ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯଦି ଇନର ସର୍କଲ କରିଥାନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଅପୋଜିଟ୍ ଡିରେକ୍ସନରେ କରିଥାନ୍ତେ?
ନାଇଁ ଇନର ସର୍କଲ କଲେ ବି ତମେ ଆଣ୍ଟି କ୍ଲକୱାଇଜ ଡିରେକ୍ସନରେ କରିପାରିବ, ନୋ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ।
Okay, ma'am.
ଯୋଉଟା ବି କର ତମେ ଆଣ୍ଟି କ୍ଲକୱାଇଜ ଡିରେକ୍ସନରେ କରିବ, ଠିକ ଅଛି। one position is being shifted. Now what you have to do, the corresponding samples are being changed, yes or no? Now again repeat the same step, multiply these corresponding sample values, then find the summation of all the multiplications. Okay, now as you can see, this is already rotated, so your positions are being shifted. Now it is x1 of 0 multiplied with x2 of 1, x1 of 0 multiplied with x2 of 1. Now x1 of 1 is being multiplied with x2 of 0, x1 of 1 is being multiplied with x2 of 0. Now x1 of 2 is multiplied with x2 of 3, right? Third sample. Now the third sample of x1 is being multiplied with the second sample of x2, right? Now all are being added to find the second sample of our convoluted signal. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear or not? Clear? So you have to continue this same method. So up to how much you will continue this rotation? Again in the next step what you have to do is you have to again shift one position. Okay, you have to again shift one position of your x2 samples. Okay, right. In the next step, here it is the x2 0. Now this will be shifted to here. Again this will shift to this position, second will shift to this position, and the first sample will shift to this position. Up to how much you will rotate this shifting of position? Right, until the original sequence came, you have to rotate by one position, okay, in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, again you have to multiply the corresponding values and you have to add them to find the convoluted signal. So same thing you will find. Now you can find your x3, the second, sorry, same way रे तमे x3 0 x3 1 find out करिचो. Now you can find out your second sample of your convoluted signal, then third sample of your convoluted signal, like that you can find. Now your final sequence will be x3 of n is equals to x3 0, x3 1, x3 2, 3 and 4, like this. You can combine all the samples you have got in the previous step to find out your final convoluted sequence. Final convoluted sequence. Clear? Very easy. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can, suppose this is the question I have given to you. X1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. X2 is 4 and 5. Okay. So I have taken this example. What is your first step? First step is, and I have written my convoluted signal as y. So what was your first step?
Ma'am, to make
Zero padding.
in order to equal the length of the two sequences.
Okay, you know the method to equal these lengths. Okay, so first I have written here length of x1 n is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4. Length of x2 is L2. I have written given the name as L2. That is 2, 4 and 5. Right. Now length of y is equals to L3. That will be the maximum length of y means this convoluted signal. The length of convoluted signal will be maximum of these lengths of x1 and length of x2. Okay. Now that is, which one is maximum? 4 is maximum. So the length of the convoluted signal will be 4. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Right or not? Now coming to equalizing this length, now you have to make both the length of x1 and x2 equal. So length, as we can see here, the lengths are not equal in this case. Hence you have to add 0 or you have to perform 0 padding to make the lengths equal. So how will you perform 0 padding? You can see L1 is greater than L2. So zeros should be added to L2. Right? So number of zeros, how many number of zeros to be added? L1 minus L2, that is 2. So you have to add 2 zeros in x2. Right? So the new x1, the sequence x1 is 1, 2, 3, 4 as it is, right? Remaining. So now x2 is changed to 4500. It is being changed to 4500. Yes or no? Clear? Now length of x1 and x2 are same. Okay, coming to the next step. What is your next step? What is your next step? Okay, to design the concentric circle, that is called as your concentric circle method. Concentric circle. So you have to design your concentric circle. So how will you design your concentric circle? କେମିତି କରିବ କୁହ?
Ma'am, the first sequence will be in anti-clockwise direction, then the next one will be in clockwise direction.
So here, this was the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 0, 0, right? So how will you represent now? See, x1 and I have written in anti-clockwise direction, right? 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now x2 I have written in clockwise direction, x2, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Done?
Yes,
Done
ma'am.
or not? So already see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now 4, 5, 0, 0. 4, 5, 0, 0. Clear? Now coming to the next step, corresponding value multiplication, right? So you have to multiply from the 0 position I am starting. Okay. So now I will find my y of 0. Y of 0 is equals to 1 into 4, right? Here it is 1, x2, sorry, you can see here x1 0, x2 0. I have written here 1 into 4, right? Now here it is 2 into 0, 2 into 0. Now 0 into 3. Okay. Now 4 into 5. 4 into 5. So total it will be 4 plus 20, 24. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So step number 3 completed. You got your y of 0. Right. Coming to the next step. That is the shifting of one position. Okay. In the x2. Now I will shift this x2 value, right, in anti-clockwise manner. So this one is our first one. Empty arrange right. This one is the first one. The previous one only I am redrawing this one. This same thing I have redrawn here. Now I will shift one position. So you can see x2 of 0 is coming here. Okay. No one is saying anything. Yes. एटा anti-clockwise shift करथिले मु. अरे मु तो एटा जाने के clockwise कली तो माने के किछ कहिलोनी. See, this x2 of 0 will come here, not here. Anti-clockwise shifting I am doing. So it will be x2 of 0 here. Now x2 of 3 will come here. Okay. Now it is x2 of 3. Now x2 of 2 will come here. Okay. Now the first sample will come here. So again I will arrange the values. So x2 of 0 was 4, right? Then 1 is 5. Then x2 of 2 was 0, x2 of 3 was 0, right? And x1 of n is remaining same. So what was the value of x1? 1, 2, 3 and 4, because it is same 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you can go for the corresponding multiplication, right? 1 into 5, you can write here 1 into 5 plus 2 into 4, 2 into 4 plus this is 3 into 0, right? Plus 4 into 0. So how much you are getting? Hmm.
13.
Now you can draw the next one. ନିଜେ କର next one ଟା କେତେ ଆସୁଛି କୁହ. The next value you are getting
22.
is
22 ତାପରେ 31.
କଣ ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା values କହିଲଣି ସମସ୍ତେ?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ନା ୟା ନେକ୍ସଟ ଗୁଡା କହିଲେ ନା y of 2 ଟା 22, y of 3 31.
Wait, let me write. Y2 will be, second sample will be
22.
22. Then y3 is
31.
31.
okay. Then now what is sample ଆସିବ? Y4 is
24 ma'am, the same aspect.
right.
Ma'am, y0, y1,
Very
y2,
good.
y3.
Very good. There will be only 4 samples. So okay. Now as I can say, the final one will be y of n is equals to, first element was, first one was 24, then 13, 24, 13, 22 and 31. Correct. This is the output sequence. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Coming to the matrix method. Okay, again step number 1 will remain same, that is to make the lengths equal. Okay, so what you have to do is, you have your x1, you have your x2, then you have to make your lengths equal. Okay, same go for the same question. X1 was 1 2 3 4 and x2 is 4 5, so you can make the lengths equal. X1 will be 1 2 3 4, x2 will be 4 5 0 0, right? Now coming to the second step. Second step is to form n cross n matrix by using x1 of n. N is the length. Okay, length of the output sequence. Okay, what will be the length of the output sequence? Maximum of length of x1 and length of x2. Which one is maximum? 4. So it will be same length as the inputs. Okay, that will be n cross n matrix you have to form. Now you have to perform what is our n here for this question? What is the n for our question? N is
4.
4. So you will design one 4 cross 4 matrix. So how will you arrange this 4 cross 4 matrix? You can see here, this is x1 0, x1 1, x1 2, like this. You have to arrange any one, means you have your 2 inputs. Okay, so first input you have to arrange as x1 0 1 2, like this. And so the last one will be, as it is the n equals to 4, the last number will be x1 3, right? I'm writing here again, so you can see we have x1 n equals to 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So this is our x1 0, this is x1 1. Now this is sample x1 2. Now this sample is x1 3, right? As I can say n equals to 4, right? So you can say this is x1 3. x1 3 can be written as x1 n minus 1, right or not? Equally though, right? So I'm writing x1 3 as x1 n minus 1. So same I will write here x1 n minus 1. Now the previous one will be x1 n minus 2, right? Bujiparlo?
Yes, ma'am.
So first you have to arrange in this column x1 0 first column, x1 1, x1 2 up to x1 n minus 1. Now what you have to do, what you have did in your concentric circle, you have to rotate your x1 or x2 value. ଆମେ ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରୁଥିଲେ, x2 ର value କୁ rotate କରୁଥିଲେ. already ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ସେଠି କହିଥିଲି ଯେ ତମେ ଦିଟା ଯାକ circle ଭିତରୁ any one you can rotate, yes or no? You can rotate the inner one or you can rotate the outer circle. Means you can rotate the inner one, that is x1n, or you can rotate the outer one, that is x2 of n, yes or no? So here what we will do is we will rotate this x1 n. Okay, now how will I rotate this one? You can see x1 n minus 1 will be now placed here, will be placed here. Okay, in the first row. Okay, now you can shift these values. x1 0 shifted to the second row, x1 1 will be shifted to the third row, like this. One position shift. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the last element of your second column, the last element of your second column is x1 n minus 2. Now x1 n minus 2 will be shifted here. This is x1 n minus 2, right? Now again n minus 1 will be shifted to the second row. x1 0 which is in the second row will be shifted to third row. Similarly the other elements will be shifted. Again you will keep on rotating this sequence unless and until you will get the same, you will get this one here, x1 1, x1 2 and x1 0 will be here, because after this you will get the same sequence, yes or no? After this you will get the same sequence. x1 0 will be here, 0 1 2 like this, and the last one will be x1 n minus 1. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will see this will be the dimension of this matrix will be n cross n. Okay, here it is n number of samples, and here also you will get n number of rows. N number of rows and n number of columns. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Now you can arrange this x1. For this question you can arrange our x1 n value in the matrix format, right? Now go for our sequence, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the last sample will be here, 4. Now this one will be shifted here, 2 will shifted here, and 3 will be here. Now again, this 3 will be in first row, right? Now this 4 is coming here, 1 here and 2 here. বুঝিপারছো না বুঝিপারনো বুঝিপারছো না নাই?
Yes, ma'am.
Now this 3 is here, 4 will be here, and this 1 will be here, right? যদি ମୁଁ ପରେ ଆଉଥରେ shift କରିବି, again it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Again it will become 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is our final, you can see 4 cross 4 matrix. Yes or no? You will see तुमको आगे 4 cross 4 तमे जदे जानि दबो तमरो लेंथ टा n cross n तमे एठी पकेला एठी भी सेतिकिटा आसी गला परे सरी जिवो कोन सेटा तमे वेरीफाई निजे भी करि परिबो 4 cross 4 एठी तमे चारटा कॉलम हे गला 1 2 3 4 आ आसीबोनी, right? So coming to the next one, next step is x1 n is done. Now you have to go for x2 of n. So again you have to arrange in n cross 1 matrix, in n cross 1 matrix format by using x2 of n. So it will simply x2 0 1 2 up to x2 n minus 1, n cross 1 matrix, n number of rows and single column. So same I will go for my x2 of n. What is my x2 of n? What ଅଛି? 4
4500.
4 5 0 0. Simply I am putting here 4 5 0 0. Right? Now what you have to do is go for the matrix multiplication. So now you have to multiply this matrix with the second one. Now simply you have to multiply this matrix with 4 5 0 0. Matrix multiplication after row and 2 column, right? So go for your matrix multiplication and just inform the answer. Kon asila 4 cross 4 with 4 cross 1. So the result will be, result dimension kon hobo?
Ma'am, 4 cross 1.
Well, right. Just tell me the answers.
I'm 24, 13, 22, 31. Same.
Same answers you are getting. Okay. It is 20. It has 20.
24.
Tell me again. 24,
13,
13,
22,
22, then
31.
31. Right. So this is your y of n. Okay. this is another question. You have to do this one. Go for this one. X1 of n and x2 of n. Go for this one. Go for the concentric circle method as well as your matrix method. You can solve this one. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So just I am giving you some hints. Okay. So for the if I will write the program for the circular convolution. Okay. So for length to make this length equal, you know what command you have to use. Yes or no? First you will go for length of x, then length of y. Right. Now maximum of, you can say, suppose for your program I am just giving you hints. X1, x you have given, y you have given. Okay. Now the convoluted signal, suppose I am taking it as convoluted one. I am taking it as z. Okay. This one is my convoluted one. Okay. I am just saying. Okay. Now first you have to take the length of x. Right. You have to take the length of x. Yes or no? Length of x will be, suppose I am taking L1. Now similarly length of y is L2. Okay. Are you getting it or not? ମୁଁ खाली hint ଦଉଛି. Program ରେ ତମେ କଣ କରିବ? First x input କରିବ, y input କରିବ, then length of x1 you will take as L1, length of y suppose you are taking L2. तो तुमको first step कौन थिला? Maximum of L1 and L2 will be what? कौन हबो? Max. कौन हबो? Maximum of L1 and L2 will be Somnath? Length of y, एठी मु y टा input नहीं जाइछि. Length of your convoluted signal. Okay. Length of your convoluted signal, suppose z. Okay. Now तमे zero padding करिवो हो ना नहीं? How will you do that? If else condition लगेबो, L1 and L2 already given. If L1 is greater than L2, then you will add 0 in y, right? So it will be y, then your zeros. How many zeros? L1 minus L2, right? And the other case, you know, if L2 is greater than L1, then zeros will be added in x, right? V2 minus L1. Okay. Now zero padding done. Then next step will be, after zero padding, what will you do? Length equal कला परे जब तुम्हें मैट्रिक्स मेथड नेलो देन कौन करिवो? देखो तमे जतबेले x1 लिखुचो क्वेश्चन रे, whenever you are giving your input, x1 equals to 1 2 3 4 এটা এক্সিক্यूट কেমতি होउची এটা এক্সিক্यूट কেমতি হবো বুঝিলি বট को फॉर्मेट रे मैट्रिक्स फॉर्मेट रे ही होउची बिकॉज़ दिस इज मैटलैब तो मैट्रिक्स फॉर्मेट रे ही हबो तो सिंगल रो हिसाब रे एग्जीक्यूट होउची होना नहीं जदि मो एठी ट्रांसपोज यूज करिवि जदि मो एठी ट्रांसपोज कली देन केमति आसीबो जदि मो नै गली ट्रांसपोज ऑफ x1 ऑफ n देन एटा एमति ही एग्जीक्यूट हबो होना नहीं
Yes, ma'am.
so you can take your transpose of x transpose of x command use करि परिबो तमे राइट नाउ तमे एटा को रोटेट करियर अछि मैट्रिक्स जनरेट करिया पे राइट you can use one command there that is circular shift right that is circ shift okay circ shift this stands for your circular shift okay जोड़ा तमे मैट्रिक्स रे परफॉर्म करथिलो what was that you have to go for 4 will be here then again 1 2 3 like this जो shifting करूथिलो that is your circular shift you can use this command okay circ shift okay then another command is there to arrange this one that is horizontally you can say hodgecat there is another command hodgecat okay that man tame jota arrange करूछ साइड बाय साइड सेटा को अरेंज करि करि जिवो ना हॉरिजॉन्टली कैस्केडेड करि करि जिवो सेटा को just saying circ is for circular shift then the next one is hodgecat that will be for concatenate arrays horizontally okay remember these two commands okay now this will hodgecat will arrange this 1 2 3 4 then you will put horizontally 4 1 2 3, then again 3 4 1 2. That will be arranged horizontally. For that you will use your Hodgkin, and circular shift will be needed for this shifting. Clear? Clear or not? এই দুইটা ଦବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ସେଟା ତମେ କେମିତି ୟୁଜ କରିବ ମୁଁ ଖାଲି ତମକୁ ହିଣ୍ଟ ଦେଇଦେଲି। ସର୍ଫ ସିଫ୍ଟ ଆଉ ହଟ୍ସ୍କାଟ ସେ କମାଣ୍ଡ କୁ କେମିତି ୟୁଜ କରିବାର ଅଛି ସେଟା ତମ ଡ୍ୟୁଟି। Suppose you are going to write hotcat A comma B. It means whatever written in A. Okay. Suppose A is equals to 1 1 0 0. Okay. Now hotcat and B is equals to, this is A. Okay. Now B is equals to 2 1. So by using hotcat you will get hotcat A B means 1 1 2. You will get 1 1 2 0 0 1 like this. Okay. तो बुझी पारलो केमती हबो? गोटे column, then horizontally added second one, horizontally added third one, like this. And for circular shift, how you have to write is, you have to first write down for circular shift. If I say this for horizontally shift, you have to just write which column means your first column, then you are going to horizontally added the second column, right? So A, then B, okay, like this, then again C, like this. But for the circular shift command, what you have to need is, you have to write your suppose A, okay, your first column, then you have to write the value, how many position you have to shift. Only we are shifting one position, so how many shifts are needed. Okay, this A is your matrix which you want to shift. Okay, now 1 is the shift value, how many position you want to shift, how many positions you want to shift. We are just shifting one position, like this 4 1 2 3, so you have to write 1. Okay, jodi mo 2 kari debi, then 3 4 will come here, 3 4, then 1 2. Are you getting my point or not? Am I audible?
Sir, ma'am, सर्फ शिफ्ट आउ थोड़े कह दे।
सर्फ शिफ्ट तमे कमांड जते बळे यूज करिवो, you can take the help. ମୁଁ तुमको बस हिंट दे देइची। सर्फ शिफ्ट is one command you have to use for circular convolution जते बळे तमे प्रोग्राम लिखिबो। ओके, तो सर्फ शिफ्ट रो काम होची, तमे फर्स्ट कोन करिवो, तमे जोटा भी मैट्रिक्स अछि, मैट्रिक्स A, तमे जोटा को रोटेट करिया को चाहौछ, दैट मैट्रिक्स with how many position you want to shift, with how many positions you want to shift. Okay, one means, suppose A equals to, I have written as 1 2 3 4. Now A comma 1 you will use, it means it will generate 4 1 2 3. After using sort A comma 1 you will get 4 1 2 3. Okay, you can use your help command in MATLAB and find how will you use this search shift command as well as your hotcat. Okay, ମୁଁ बस hint दे देली। हबो किछि प्रॉब्लम नहीं, ମୁଁ बस सेति में तो ମୁଁ कहली, ମୁଁ खाली hint दउची। If you want you can use, if you don't want you can write it in your own manner. Okay, there is no problem. Okay, without using inbuilt command you have to do. Okay, written the question everyone. Acha, what is the inbuilt command for your circular convolution? What is your inbuilt command for your Okay, this is the inbuilt command. Okay, what you have to do is write your program without using this command. Okay, then compare it by using this circular convolution. Okay, by using this command. Okay, clear? ଯେମିତି linear convolution ରେ inbuilt in without using inbuilt କରୁଥିଲା ଏଠି ବି ସେମିତି ହିଁ କରିବ. Okay, I hope you have taken this question. 1 minus 1, 2 minus 3 minus 1, 2 1 2. This is okay. This is one question, and another question you can write. Another question write 1 2 3 1. This is x1. Okay, and y1 is 2 1 2 1. Y1 is 2 1 2 1. Okay, you can do any. Okay, this is one question, and this is the second one. Okay, should I stop? Screenshot नहीं गला था question का?
Yes, ma'am.
डेटा भितर जो गोटे भी क्वेश्चन रो सर्कुलर कन्वोल्यूशन करिवो. ओके, देन तमे प्रोग्राम रे लिखि के एग्जीक्यूट करथिबो. फर्स्ट लैब रे चेक हबो, देन यू विल राइट इन योर रिकॉर्ड. ओके,
Yes, ma'am.